The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
Welcome to another segment of UCW Radio. I'm your host, Lou, a.k.a. Falcon Coparis. And before we start, let me remind our listeners that we can be reached at ucwradio.com. Or you can call us at 323-215-1446. And if we're live, guess what? You're live. But definitely leave us your questions, or actually leave your questions and comments for our guest. Not so much for us, but for our guest, so that you can get involved. And I'm also taking questions or comments for our guests, for us, via Twitter at any time. You can tweet away. You can follow me at twitter.com/Luis Velazquez. That's LouisVelazquez. Now, on the show today, we will be featuring model, actress, and at some point, humanitarian, Anna Easteden. She is known for her performance as Bee-Sting in Who Wants to Be a Superhero, Season 2. That was shown on the Sci-Fi Channel. She also co-starred in a couple of soaps, such as Passions and Days of Our Lives, as well as on the television series Bones and Medium and a whole host of others. She is currently working on 2 projects that are slated to be released this summer, I believe, and they are 2 films, The House of Branching Love and Sideways, and they both seem to be pretty good movies from what I've seen. Now, let's get to our interview with Anna Easteden.
All right, Anna, welcome to UCW Radio, and I want to thank you in advance for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Anna, you're a model and you're an actor. You've appeared on such shows as Bones, Medium, Who Wants to Be a Superhero, that was on the Sci-Fi Channel. Soaps such as Passions, Days of Our Lives, you on Law and Order, John from Cincinnati, and a whole host of others. I can't go through all of them because I'll be out of breath. What I like to do today, if it's okay with you, is give our listeners the opportunity to actually get better acquainted with you. So if it's okay, I'd like to start at the beginning.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right, perfect. You were born and raised in Finland, right?
Yes. I was born and raised in Finland, and in the middle of nowhere, actually. Helsinki is the capital of Finland.
Right.
And I was born 5 hours by car north of Helsinki, on a farm.
Oh, that's interesting. That must have been an interesting upbringing.
Yes. For me, though, I didn't appreciate the quietness and the beauty of the farm at all when I was little. I just wanted to live in a city and be a city girl and get out and but now when I go back, it's so peaceful and quiet and so awesome and so relaxing. But I guess when you're little, you don't really see it that way.
Yeah, well, you know what? What happens when you're in an environment, you don't appreciate it until you're out of it and you're like, oh, I want to go back, but you know, I guess that's how things work out. But when you were in Finland, you, at what age? You started modeling when you were over there, because you were there till you were in your teens, right?
Yes. I, actually talked my parents into taking me into modeling classes, which were over an hour away from where we lived. And, they had to drive me there every week. And, as soon as the modeling classes were over, I got an agent in Helsinki, and then things just started from there. I basically booked my first modeling job when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
And, it was something that I always wanted to do. And I lucked out that I got to do it.
Then you started at 12, and then you just kept on going. You know, can you tell us what were some of your modeling career highlights?
Well, some of the highlights were living in all these different countries and getting to do all these shoots in these exotic locations. Like one of my first big contracts was to go to Tokyo. And it was just fantastic. Just receiving the contract alone was fantastic because I got the contract and my parents read it and they were like, no way, this is not possible that you would actually make this much money. And I was like, well, I'm going to go. And they're like, no, you're not. And I ended up talking them into letting me go anyway. And
lucky you.
yeah, exactly. And then when I came back after a few months, they were actually surprised that I had made more money than the contract was. So that was one of the highlights, showing my parents, like, ha, see?
And now they love you more.
Exactly. And after that, we're like, okay, you can go back.
Well, sometimes you have to show something in order for people to believe in your dream.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true.
Right. But hey, you know what? You did it. You made it happen, and you're still going forward. And you went from modeling, and then you kind of you went into acting. And for some, you have some models that it becomes a natural progression to go from modeling to acting, or other fields, other entertainment fields into acting. Whether it be stage, film, whatever it may be. What drew you into getting into the acting field?
Well, for me, it was kind of sort of an accident in a way, or it happened naturally, because when I was in Tokyo, for example, I ended up then booking TV commercials as a model. So then you end up having to act without really having pursued it. So I did a bunch of TV commercials, and then I did some music videos. And then from there, I just kind of was like, well, maybe this is what I can do next. My thought was maybe you can't model forever.
That's smart.
Yeah. So then it just kind of happened naturally. And then I went into theater, and then I started getting TV and film roles. So
now you just gave me a segue into the next question, because you've done stage acting before.
Yes.
How different is it for you than doing, let's say, a TV episode?
Well, it's different for me in a way that on stage you don't get a second chance. So in a way I feel more pressure on stage, because if you mess up your lines, you can't do a take two. Right. So if you mess it up, then you mess it up. So for me, it's theater acting is more difficult, and you have so many more lines to remember. You can't really record, a whole theater play in one day on film. True. So, that way it's more memorization and more pressure for me for theater. But I also love theater. I haven't done it for a while, but one of my favorite things was to do Sleeping Beauty on stage in Chicago, where I got to play Sleeping Beauty. I always said that was typecasting because I got to play a princess.
Right. But it's interesting how nowadays you see a lot of TV actors, big screen, little screen, whatever it may be, doing a lot of stage stuff. They're doing stage acting. I guess they're trying to, brush up their skills, or they're trying to get an appreciation of the arts, because a lot of, you have some actors that just went into TV acting and never did stage. So. Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm very happy that they're doing that, because sometimes theater, people don't watch as much theater as they do TV and film. So I'm very glad that they are doing that and reviving that form of acting for themselves and for others.
Well, that's good. Hopefully you hit the stage again, because this time I'll get to see you live.
Yeah, I would love it.
Excellent. Anna, do you see yourself at this point doing more TV projects in the future? And if so, what shows would you like to be associated with, or what type of shows?
Wow. Well, because there are so many different kinds of shows and genres that I want to work in. I mean, I would love to do comedies, and I would love to do dramas. Really, right now, when I think of it, there isn't any kind of genre or show that I wouldn't want to do.
Right.
Because I think that's the best part of acting, is that you get to be all these different people and all these different characters in different situations that you would never be in real life necessarily.
Escape reality for a little while.
Yeah.
That's